The pull tab on the can broke off, but the woman realized she could still pry open the lid with her hands. She immediately felt a surge of something. Looking at the metal lid she had previously punctured but hadn't fully opened, she found a rope and used a knife to wedge open the gap, successfully threading the rope through. Once ready, she gripped the rope with both hands, concentrating all her body weight and arm strength into one effort. To her delight, the metal piece actually opened. This glimmer of hope instantly strengthened her resolve. She kept pulling until the metal lid was completely pried off. This was the first time she'd seen sunlight in the days since being trapped, and she couldn't help but burst into tears. She wanted her newborn baby to feel the sunlight too, so she carried the baby and climbed out of the shipping container. But what she saw was another kind of despair. They were adrift in the middle of the vast, endless ocean. But this new mother had to stay strong. At least she and her baby had both seen the sun with their own eyes. She casually tossed the baby's dirty diaper into the water. Unexpectedly, the diaper attracted a school of fish. This thrilled her beyond measure. She immediately grabbed a metal rod to use as a spear, but despite countless attempts, she couldn't catch a single fish and eventually collapsed from exhaustion. Just when she was at a loss, the roar of an airplane suddenly echoed across the sky. She instantly snapped alert, knowing this was her best chance at rescue. She immediately rushed back into the container and picked up a piece of broken glass, then climbed back on top of the container, trying to use the sun's reflection to catch the plane's attention. But the plane didn't notice at all and flew away. Just as she was despairing, her eyes fell on the earphones on the wooden crate. A flash of inspiration struck her. She wove a fishing net from the earphone cord. The next morning, she placed the net in the water and threw the baby's diaper on top of it. The strong smell quickly attracted many fish. Once the fish had fully entered the net, she seized the opportunity and pulled it up. On the 15th day stranded at sea, she finally ate her first bite of food. With the help of the fishing net, the food problem was temporarily solved. Now, besides survival, her next goal was escape. She wrote a distress message on paper, put the notes in several boxes, and threw them into the sea, hoping passing ships would spot them. However, 21 days passed with no sign of rescue, and the water in the container had reached a dangerous level. She made up her mind to leave the container. From now on, she and her child could only rely on a small wooden raft to get by. Lying on the small raft all night, she was utterly exhausted. When she looked up, she saw a seagull about to attack her and her child. She quickly pulled out some leftover fish, hoping the bird would eat its fill and spare the child. Just then, a female fisher in the distance noticed the unusual gathering of seagulls in this area. She urged her father to steer the boat closer. When they approached the raft, they witnessed a strange scene. The father and daughter pulled the raft up together. To their shock, there was a sleeping baby inside. They stood there bewildered when the female fisher suddenly felt a rope beside her. She quickly pulled up the rope, and sure enough, this new mother who had been drifting at sea for 21 days was finally rescued. The fisherwoman couldn't believe she was dead. She began pressing on her chest, trying to squeeze out the water, but her body showed no response. Even so, the fisherwoman didn't give up. She persisted in her attempts. Eventually, her efforts paid off. The new mother began to regain consciousness. The first thing she did upon waking was call out for her child. In the end, even nature itself had to bow to the great power of a mother.